Everybody, come on in this morning or afternoon, I should say. Come on in. Come on in this afternoon and invite this with your friends. Come on in and right where you're watching from. Come on in and let me know where you're tuning in from. Come on in this afternoon. Hey, everybody. Hey, Aisha. Hey, Miss Johnson. Come on in. Good morning or afternoon. Good morning or afternoon. Hey, Morriar. Come on in. I want to give you guys a power surge this morning or this afternoon. I keep saying this morning, but it literally just hit afternoon. No, it's not milk, it's a protein drink. But come on in. I want to talk to you guys about 2019. Come on in. Share with your followers. Yes, I'm trying to stay healthy. Hey, Michigan. Hey, Texas. Hey, Ohio. Come on in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Chicago. Hey, Miami. Come on, share this. Somebody needs a little bit of power this morning. Hey, Illinois. Hey, Jersey. I want to share with you guys. Hey, Tennessee. Um, I want to share with you guys something that I've been sharing with my girls. Um, I think I shared it with them last month about taking authority over your life. And here is the deal. Nobody's going to change your life but you. Of course, God will blow and breathe on whatever you're doing. But ultimately, insanity is doing the same thing, the same way, expecting different results. And some of us, year after year, we approach it the same way, doing the same things, and we expect different results. And I believe that 2019 is going to be a year of quick growth and acceleration. I believe that it's going to be a year where God will open up doors in the marketplace to people, and God will open up opportunities that we've been waiting on and praying for and seeking Him about. But ultimately, we have to do what we need to do. You know, it's like someone saying, you know, you know how they pray those prayers, Lord, take all the calories out of this food. God's not taking the calories out of the food. Maybe you should just change what you're eating. But do I got a man besides Jesus? No. um, Nevertheless, and that's for a whole nother conversation because Jesus ain't your man. He's your Lord and Savior. But that's for another day. What was I saying? And this is why I can't look at the comments because I get so caught up. But ultimately, you have to take control over your life. And sometimes we expect God to do all the work. It's like someone saying, I want to lose weight, but they never get a gym membership. I want to lose weight, but I don't change what I eat. You go in the refrigerator, I got leftover pig feet, hog maw, Got all of this different stuff in the refrigerator that I know I'm not supposed to be eating. All of these different things. We say that we want God to, put us in position, put us in position and open up doors and opportunities for growth for us. But when these doors and opportunities for growth come, we're unprepared. You know, um, we're unprepared. And so the first thing I want to say to you guys today, just as I was sitting here thinking, I said, let me just go on and share this with everyone else. Because 9 times out of 10, if it's something that's being spoken to me in my spirit and something that I feel that God is requiring of me, I like to share it. Um, you need to go in 2019 with a plan. That's the first thing, and this is something worth writing down today. You have to go into 2019 with a plan. Go get a planner. A lot of us have time that is wasted. We waste hours of the day on social media. We waste hours of the day. We don't even know where our hours went. We look up and it's 5, 6 o'clock, 4, 3 o'clock, and we have no idea where the time went. And so we're praying, God, redeem the time. But God is saying, why would I redeem the time when you're not even conscious of time? You're not even conscious of how you spend your time. You're not even conscious, or you're careless with what you give your time to. Why? Why would he redeem the time when you keep wasting your time? And so sometimes people don't waste their time intentionally, but it's unintentionally. And it's because we don't have a plan. When you have a plan, you need a planner. You need to go right down to Michael's, Staples, CVS, wherever you need to go. Get a planner. Write out your goals. Write out the things that God put in your spirit. What did he tell you to do? What in regards to economy and business, what is he telling you to do? Because I know he's not telling you to work for somebody else for the rest of your life, because there's no way that you're going to get wealth off of that. Working for somebody for the rest of your life is going to keep you in a deficit. So what can I do for, how can I position myself? Because ultimately, if God doesn't blow on it, you're going nowhere. But what do I need to do? How do I need to position myself to prosper? We talk about Abrahamic covenant and how, God's going to bless us, make us great, give us territory. But you need to position yourself in the right place so that you can be a recipient of that blessing and so that God has something to work with. Yeah. And so we have to get to a place where we stop playing every year by ear. And I've been guilty of it before. We play every year by ear. Well, I'm going to just go with the flow. I'm not really sure what it's going to be this year, but that's not living. That's existing. See, the difference between living and existing is if I'm existing, I'm here and I'm just kind of chilling. But if I'm living, I'm actually on the road to something. And it's not that God doesn't have a purpose for you or God doesn't have a plan for your life, but you have to position, exactly, you have to position and posture yourself so that you can be on the correct road and so that you can be in the correct position. Don't you understand that some opportunities come to you based off of where you are geographically, meaning, the Lord can drop in your spirit, you need to be in a particular place. And through obedience to that thing, being in that particular place, you can meet an investor. You can meet someone who has the resources that you need to jumpstart your business. You could meet someone that has the answer to your prayer, but it's all about positioning and posturing yourself so that you're in the right place at the right time. And that goes through planning. We as people are terrible with planning. If you are anything like me, And maybe you're not. Maybe you just, maybe you're just very detail oriented. But for me, I'm very sporadic. I'll wake up one day and go get on a plane and go somewhere. I'm just very, very sporadic. Sometimes I plan not to have plans. If you're anything like me, I literally plan not to have plans. And that's not good because you'll have a lot of wasted time. And when you look up, you'll be in the third quarter of the year and be like, well, where did everything go? Where did my time go? What did I accomplish this year? Even at the end of the year this year, in this month, these next couple of weeks leading to the end of the year, I don't say this to make you feel bad, but you need to ask yourself, what have I accomplished this year? What differentiates 2018 from 2017, 16, and 15, other than my pain? How is it differentiated? Or was this 2017 part two? And are you planning for 2019 to be 2018 part two? We have to get to a place where we just we focus in. We focus in. The enemy is so strategic. He is so strategic when it comes to distraction and distracting you and keeping you off course. And the way that he does that is by drawing your attention. He draws your attention to everything opposite of what God is positioning and calling you to do. It's like me. I'll be sitting down and I know there are certain things that I need to write out. But all of a sudden, my phone will distract me. Either I'm on a text, either I'm on social media, looking at a clip, get caught up in that, start laughing, go on to other clips. Now I'm watching a bunch of vines. Anybody who knows me knows I like to laugh. I'm silly. I start watching skits and then I'm like, where did the day go? My day ended up in laughter. And laughter is great, but it's not funny when you ain't did nothing. You stop laughing at the end of the year when you realize, hold on, I didn't accomplish anything. And so, the enemy, he's the author of confusion. And confusion is linked to distraction. And distraction, you have to look out for it. It comes in so many different forms. Sometimes we think that distraction is just, the wrong relationship coming into our life, or distraction is, us not doing what we're supposed to do. But sometimes, distraction doesn't even come in a negative package. And that's what you have to be careful about. Distraction does not always come in a negative package. And even on Thursday night when I was teaching about Absalom, and I was telling you guys about how, you can end up in disobedience and not necessarily be rebellious. Sometimes distraction, and I talked about how, you can be in disobedience or get entangled and caught up in stuff and not intend to do it rebelliously. And one of the reasons for that is because sometimes, things that come to make you disobedient to God, because you can have people that draw you from God. You can have situations that draw you from God. The package always isn't, in a demonic form. Sometimes we think that the enemy comes, with as a lion, because the Bible says he is as a roaring lion. So we think sometimes he's coming as a lion. He's coming as a something that's negative, but sometimes there are positive things that are drawn to you, or that you're drawn to. And really it's the package is, everything that seems like it's great, Like you said, the enemy disguises himself as an angel of light. You know, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So sometimes, things come to you and it looks like it's positive, but it's really negative, and that's where discernment comes into play. That's where the temptation is based upon what appeals to you. Not always. Um, there have been times where, and anybody knows that I honestly just don't care what people think about me. So I don't mind sharing my, testimonies and things that I've gone through. I've had moments in my life where um, I have been distracted, and the package of distraction wasn't even something that I was attracted to. You ever get in a relationship with somebody and you're not even attracted to them? They're not even attractive. Come on, we all have a few under our belt. Stop it. You're not even attracted to them. And that relationship comes and draws you from God. And so, you have to watch, because the package doesn't always look like a demon, even though the demonic is involved. Sometimes the package, is, well, this is a nice, this is something that could benefit me. I could use this for kingdom. And then it'll throw you off track when God told you to do something else. And so you have to use discernment and be very strategic as far as what you give your time to. As you're preparing to go into 2019, you have to be very strategic, use discernment, and careful about what you give your time to. And I'm just going between Twitter and Instagram. No, I'm not Twitter or Instagram. Facebook, all of these social media outlets, Facebook and Periscope. But you have to use discernment on what you give your time to, because just because it's good doesn't mean it's God. Just because it looks like it's good and it's packaged, well, doesn't mean that this is God. And so you have to, oh, ouch. You have to, really be postured in a place of discernment, because I really honestly believe that the Lord is getting ready to do something major, really major. And I know a lot of people say that, but I honestly do believe that in 2019, some things are going to shift and break. A lot of us have been in a place. Where we've been seeking God for growth and expansion and to go to the next level, but we've had a lid on us. We've been locked in a barrel. We've had lids on us. And I believe that this is our season and hour of breakout and breakthrough. I really do believe that. And of course, when God is preparing to open up a window, he said, I'll open up a window and pour out a blessing. When God is getting ready to open up a window for you, you have to understand that the enemy is going to try to distract you. He's going to try to distract you. He's going to try to derail you, detour you. He's going to try to do all of those different things so that you miss your window. It's all about you missing your window, because when you miss your window, you remain stuck in cycles of unproductivity, cycles where you do not have any growth or expansion, cycles, of doing the same thing over and over again, cycles of insanity. That's what you end up stuck in. And so you have to be very, very careful in this season. Another thing is procrastination. Jesus, Lord, I'm preaching to myself right now. Procrastination. It is so of the devil. I promise you, it is so of the devil. Procrastination. I am the queen of procrastination. And the Lord is really helping me in that area. You know, for some of us, we have a never ending, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll wash clothes tomorrow. Come on. I'll wash those dishes tomorrow. I'll write my book tomorrow. There's about 20 of you watching right now that the Lord has put a book in your spirit and you're not even doing it because you keep procrastinating and getting distracted. And see, what you have to understand is the enemy causes you to procrastinate through distraction so that you never birth out what God put in you. And so when you never birth out what God puts in you, then you remain in a place of lack and you never grow. You never grow. And so that's how you remain locked in seasons, that are over. You know, I believe there is a season for you to go through, lack and famine. There are seasons of famine. But ultimately, every season shouldn't be a famine. Something's wrong when every single season is a famine. Something's wrong with every single season is a famine. Perfection, that's a good one. I'm going to touch on that in a second too. But something's wrong when every season is a famine. And the reason every season is a famine for some of us is because we're disobedient. We're disobedient and we have not done what God told us to do. The devil's attacking my money. Nah, bro, the devil's not attacking your money. He's not. You know who's attacking your money? You. You are attacking your money. And the way that you're attacking your money is because you're procrastinating. You're procrastinating. Some of us should be millionaires by now. All of the things that God has put inside of our spirit, the innovation that God has put inside of our minds, the innovation, the creativity. There's some of us that are anointed to literally make something out of nothing. Like literally, you can give me a blank canvas and I will create something out of it because there's a natural creativity inside. And a lot of us are too creative to have messed up coins. Too creative. Way too creative. And the issue is, again, we are procrastinating. We haven't finished the book. We haven't taken the time to go open the business, turn power, empire, and everything else off and work on your business. Because you know what? While you're watching them, they're over here making money. They're over here expanding. They're over here increasing. They're over here putting in the working hours to live, as Little Duval said, their best life. Yeah. You don't just start living your best life, because you just, decided to get saved. I'm saved, so I'm living my best life. Now, I know some broke saved folk. I know some saints that are struggling, clear struggling. That don't mean you living your best life. When you start living your best life, when you tap into purpose. You start living your best life when you get focused and you tap into your talent and you tap into your purpose. That's when you start living your best life. And when you get focused and stop procrastinating. I talked about Cardi B one time about how, we were watching Love and Hip Hop and watching her on all of these different things and how, just watching her and watching her. And Cardi B came up and you stayed in the same place. She got her teeth fixed. She got a man. Well, she's getting a divorce now, but she had a man, you know, got a whole child, you know, was I don't know where she was on the billboard, but she was somewhere. She was somewhere you wasn't, somewhere I wasn't. You know why? Because while we were watching her, she was working. You got to understand that it's time to stop watching people and envying people's growth and increase and start working. Somebody type that. Stop watching and start working. We got to stop watching and start working. Stop watching and start working. Now, of course, scopes like this and Facebook lives like this, of course, this is empowerment. This empowers you to do what you need to do. So you can watch things like this, but you can't be watching stuff like this all day. You just jumping from scope to scope, scope to scope to scope all day, jumping from live to live to live all day. And you know what? And I don't even want to get into this discussion. This discussion is for a whole nother scope. Or a whole nother live. But you watching scope to scope all day, live to live all day, and these folk robbing you, getting your money. Every single scope and live you go to, demanding a seed. By the time you look at it, your increase done been ate up. Watching instead of working eats up your increase. Because you're going to get on these lives. They come with a word that they said the Lord told them to give you, fine. I'm with it. Don't get me wrong. I give big seed. I sow. So, I'm not talking against seed. I believe seed. I believe in seed big time. I've sold thousands of dollars into trusted prophetic ministries that I trust. But the thing is this, you jumping on live to live to live, and every single live you jumping on, they asking for some money. And so now I'm giving you $20, and I'm giving you $50, and I'm giving you $100. Oh, and I'm giving you $1,000. And if you're doing this all day, you're looking at your account and it's on zero. Your account is on negative. It's in the red. It's in the red. It's in the red. Because watching ate up your increase. And so all I'm saying is when the Lord drops it in your spirit to give, and you're not being emotionally manipulated by your situation, you give. Come on, he gives seed to the sower. Sow that seed. I have sowed seed into some Facebook people. Now, some of these prophets on Facebook is real. I had a prophet, he was Latino. I don't even know how I ended up on his live. I ended up on this Latino prophet's live. He didn't know nothing about me. And when I say he was so accurate, he got my whole life together. So there are some of these people that are very accurate, and the Lord would put it in your spirit to sow a seed. Yes, do that. Yes, do that. We're not going to start with these names. I don't know him. No. But ultimately, yes, some are false prophets, and some of them have made a business out of asking for money. Hello, somebody. Some have made a business by asking for money. I'm not going to go to work. I'm going to get on Facebook every Friday. We won't even talk about him. I just cannot. I can't. I can't. If I start on him, I won't even get through the scope. Um, but they've made it a business. They've made it a business. Every single Friday, word of the Lord on the hour, every hour. I mean, God doing a lot of talking. Now, I done had a prophetic gift since I was a little girl. I ain't never known God to talk this much. You know, now maybe my gift ain't, you know, maybe my gift is not as um developed as some of these people, but usually when God gets to speaking to me, it's it's every now and then. It's an utterance. He don't be speaking to me with 8 different words in one day span. I don't know. I need that. If he's doing that, you show me how to tap into that. You know, because I mean he's very talkative these days. Last time I checked, he would give an utterance here and there, and then I don't understand how the only thing the Lord is speaking is prosperity. Because last time I checked, the prophetic was um, exhortative, predictive, and corrective. But whatever, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying this: y'all busy watching, and you're not working, and you have to get to a place where you stop watching and you start working so that you can see the fruit of your labor. If there's no labor, there's no fruit. And if we be honest, some of us are just lazy. I'm telling you, and I tell on myself. I have an issue with the gym. I do. I pay $89 a month to go to Lifetime Fitness. And I have gone probably no, I'm being generous, maybe 4 times this month. If I want to go in my spirit, I really do. I would like to go. I really would like to be consistent. But it's just, I just, I don't know. I just can't. I just can find some other thing to do when it's time to go. And that's how it goes when it comes to whatever God told you to do and what is put in your spirit and your business. You can find 10 other things to do other than what God told you to do. And so you can't procrastinate. You have to focus. Stop watching, start working. Focus. If you have to literally tell people, you know what? Honestly, this is a season where I'm just not talking to anybody. Don't be mad. Don't be upset. I don't have an issue. There is no ought. I just can't talk to you because I get distracted. I can't. I can't talk to you all day because you know what? If I talk to you all day, that means my whole day went to you, not to my work. Yes. Yes, laziness are our boyfriends and girlfriends, and we need to break up in this upcoming season. That's a word. Yeah, but seriously, even if it's not even a relationship, how when you first get a relationship with somebody, oh, I'm about to hit you with something. You know how when we first get in a relationship with somebody and you want to talk to them all day and you want to be up in their face and you want to be all under them, whatever, love, bomb, and all of that stuff. For some of you, the issue is this: a method of distraction for some people, right? That honeymoon phase. But see, what the enemy does is if he understands that you desire a relationship, if he knows that you desire companionship, what he'll do is he'll keep sending person after person into your life to recreate that honeymoon phase. That phase where you're constantly, talking on the phone till you fall asleep and texting all day, and how we're irresponsible with our time when we meet someone new. And so what happens is you keep meeting person after person after person to recreate that honeymoon phase, because that honeymoon phase is really a distraction to keep you from tapping into expanding and growing what God put in you. Literally. And if it's not a romantic relationship, you know, it'll be a friend. It'll be a friend. Some people, they don't need a relationship. They're so tight with their friends have become their companions. That might be offensive. I'm not going to say that. I will say this. And my sister made me aware that sometimes I'm really raw, so it can come off as offensive. And I'm not trying to be offensive. I just don't know how to be anything but real. But something's wrong when you're in your late 30s, 40s, 50s, and you just up under your friends. You don't got no spouse. You don't got no woman. You don't got no man. You don't have any children. You don't have a desire for it. You just hanging with your friends at 45 and growing in no area of your life. Something's wrong with that. That's not normal. The way that we were made, we were made literally to go into covenant with the opposite sex. We were made to join covenant. Eve was brought out of Adam, and they came together, and they procreated, and they dominated the earth. They tilled the ground, and they took dominion over the earth together. That's how it began in Genesis. Something is wrong when you don't want to line up with Genesis and you just want to hang with your friends all day. I don't want a man. I got my girlfriends. Nah, I love my girlfriends, but I'm good on that. Nah, you want a man. You want a husband. You want a headship. And it's the same thing with a man. Love my friends. Love my boys. All of this stuff. But there comes a point in your maturation process where you should desire a family. That's abnormal. That's not normal for you to just be wanting to hang out all day. When I became a man, I put away childish things. Children hang out with friends. My sister-in-law had me cracking up the other day. She said she kept getting a FaceTime from this number. And they were FaceTiming her the whole day. And she was like, who is this number FaceTiming me? And so she finally answered the phone, and it was a little boy saying, hi, is so-and-so coming to play? And she was like, you got the wrong number. But that's what children do. They FaceTime and call all day saying, are you coming to play? Are you coming to hang out with me? That's what children do. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. That's no longer, Christy, if I knew how to add you, I would add you into this discussion. You know how we do. I'm not familiar with Facebook invite. If you know how to do it, invite me, or I don't know. But I saw you just join. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And so there comes a point where you got to put childish things away. You have to put childish things away. You know, it's childish. Children want to hang out all day with their friends and they call all day. But when you become an adult and you reach your maturation process and you're going through your proper maturation process, you desire family. You desire covenant. You desire to grow. Yeah. And I understand, you know, some people, yeah, you definitely should get tired of clubbing. I mean, you know, I never understood clubbing. Even when I was, you know, teenager, I tried to go to a couple clubs and I was like, I can't. It's too crowded. I can't even hear myself think in here. This is just, it's not gonna work, you know. But you you should get to a place where you you want to grow and you want to get to the next level and you want to line up. You know, I honestly, this is my true belief. And I know somebody may challenge me on this. You walked into a rant, Christy. I know somebody will challenge this, but I don't believe that you can take full dominion without a spouse. Ooh, that's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's okay. In the Bible, in Genesis, and I hate when I get to talking about stuff I haven't studied lately. In Genesis, when God gave the directive for them to reproduce and for them to, you know, take dominion over the earth, he gave that to a unit, a man and a woman together. And um, I know that, you know, this generation subscribes to the mindset that, you know, I, as a feminist, I can get it by myself. I don't need no man. And I know men subscribe to the mindset that I don't need no woman. They're nothing but trouble. Both of those are off abnormal thinking. If you go biblically, dominion was given to a family unit. It was given to a family unit. And so until you get into your proper place, until you get into your proper place and your proper line, there will be no multiplication. You want to multiply, you want to expand. There will be no multiplication and there will be no dominion until you get in line, until you get in line with God and his order. God is the head of man is the head of woman. Woo, I'm stepping on toes. That's all right. Until we get into that divine order and we get into that family unit, and queens stop trying to be kings, and kings stop trying to be queens, and we get into divine order as a unit. Once we get into that divine order as a unit, it is then that we will be able to multiply and take dominion. I believe that most of us are in poverty and impoverished because we are out of divine order and because we are not um, together as that unit. Let me pull the text up because I know y'all don't like this, but that's okay. I know everyone's a theologian on social media today, every day. Let me see here. Who got the text? Somebody get the text for me. I wasn't even prepared to talk about this. Is it 123? Okay, right here. Genesis 1, 27, 28. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them and said unto them, not unto him, not unto her, but he said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion. This is what he says to them. He didn't say to the woman, girl, you bad. Subdue, take dominion, multiply. He didn't say to the man, you don't need no woman. This is what you gonna do as a man. You gonna take dominion and multiply. That's not the word of the Lord. Yes, a lot of women today do want to be the head. But a lot of men today don't know how to handle women. And that's where this desire to be the head has come from. When you've had a man leave you hanging, and when you've had a man prove himself not to be trustworthy and put you in predicaments where you're scared to trust him as the head because he got you evicted, because he got you out here with a repossession, because he got you out here with STDs, got you out here doing all of these other things. It's hard for women sometimes to trust men as the head. And that's why you got to be careful of who you even marry. You see signs in the beginning, run, because it's going to be a disaster. Don't make it right that they have reservations about letting him be the head, but there is legitimacy to why they feel how they feel. Not legitimacy to why they act the way they act, but there is a legitimacy to the fear of allowing a man to be the head, because if I let you be the head, and I know that I've had a certain track record with this particular sex, you know, not making absolutes and putting everybody in the same bucket, but when you know that you've had experiences, sometimes there is a fear to allow a man to be the head. But if you want to get in divine order, and if you want to multiply and be in dominion, you have to allow God to show you who it is. Speak to your spirit. And when I say show you who it is, I'm not talking about this foolishness where people be like in somebody's DM, God told me that you're my husband. I agree with that as well. God told me to be your husband. No, God ain't about to have you in nobody's DM talking about, sir, God said that you're my husband. Stop it. Don't do that. It's desperate. It's disgusting. Don't do that. He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. I want you to stop surfing the web trying to find you a man. Don't do that. Because that anxious, because that's all that is being anxious. Bible says be anxious for nothing. But, you know, to be anxious for nothing, but in all things with prayer, with supplication. No, wait. In all things with prayer, with thanksgiving, prayer and petition, something, whatever. You got to make your request known to God. And you got to be patient. That's the summation of that scripture. Be patient. Don't be anxious. Be anxious for nothing, because you guys know it's going to take me off for a second. Hold on. Be anxious for nothing, but in all things, with prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. Yes. And so that's a spirit of anxiousness when you're in these DMs talking about God said you my husband. No, you don't do that. Stop it. And then that's how you end up in situations where you get played and hurt, etc. But you can't take true dominion until you're in divine order, and until you many people have no desire for marriage, and that's fine, but you will be limited. I'm sorry, if you are a man, you have no business not having a desire for marriage. No business. No business. It's a natural desire for you to want to be a protector. It's a natural desire for a man to want to be a provider. So if you don't have the provide gene and the protect gene, you need to pray and ask God, what's wrong with me? Or ask God, is it that I do have the gene, but I've had experiences that have been negative, and so because of these negative experiences, I've developed a distaste for relationships. A lot of times we say I don't have a desire for something, but really we've suppressed that desire because of the things that we've gone through. So you got to be careful with that. Yes, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and favor with God. There's a favor that comes to your life when you go into covenant and you're able to take dominion and multiply. And I'm not saying that you can't, have success on your own. Yes, you can. You can have success on your own. But I'm talking about dominion. I'm talking about subduing the earth. I'm talking about multiplying, increasing, expanding. Two is better than one. That's Bible. But and of course I'm kind of all over the place, but whatever. Saturday power surge. We'll just go on and say what we need to say. Another thing is we can't. No, I don't talk about that. I think I've probably hit on enough things. So I'm gonna close it with this. 2019 is going to be a year for growth and expansion. It's going to be a year for growth and expansion. And it's important that we go into 2019 with a plan and that we don't revisit past patterns that have not worked for us, but that we position and posture ourselves to obtain everything that God has waiting for us in the next year. So I love you guys. Just wanted to say that. Just wanted to give you a quick surge. Every time I say I'm going to be up here for a couple minutes, it ends up being an hour. Y'all pray my strength. Love y'all. Bye-bye.